What's up, guys? Austin0806 here. Had a lot of questions in the channel asking about this build. I cleared greater 51 with this build. It is the Nats gear, obviously, as you can see here. And not a lot of people have been pushing at all with the Nats gear, so I decided to give it a try. We did 51 solo, so it's not that bad, and I believe it can go a lot higher. This gear that I'm about to show you guys, and the skills or whatever, or actually just the gear, is not fully optimized at all. I've only had a couple of days to get this stuff together and try to do a little bit of pushing. Actually, about a day after we got it together, we started pushing, and have had a little bit more time and have a little bit better, like really just two pieces are probably better than what I used for the push. But we'll go ahead and dive right into this now and show you guys what I used to get to greater 51 with the Nats gear. Again, I really believe once fully optimized, this gear will be able to push a lot higher. And this is probably not the best build. This is just what I came up with only a day or something to mess around with it. So obviously the six pieces of Natalya's gear to give us the 6 set bonus. Of course, and I'll go over these pieces really quick. You don't really need multi-shot damage on the helm, but I just feel like since we're using multi-shot, why not, right? Why not? The added toughness doesn't really do that much. You still usually get one shot when you're up there in the high graders anyway, so why add the extra vitality? But it could be good, I guess. Like, it could be good, especially if you're down in like the 40s, mid 40s or something. Maybe the vitality is a little bit better and not taking multi-shot, because it's really not that much damage that you're adding, since your primary source of damage is going to be Rain of Vengeance. But you can go either way, honestly. Vitality instead of multi-shot, or keep the multi-shot on there. The chest piece, you want Rain of Vengeance on this chest piece. The other stats aren't going to matter as much. You definitely want Rain of Vengeance, preferably 15. Just don't really want to waste the resources too much on rolling this right now. Let's see, the pants, just dex fit all res. It doesn't really matter the stats. Just have this set piece there. These are probably the best stats that you can have on it, though, aside from the extra gold from monsters. You'd rather have that, like life after kill or something like that, or maybe chance to freeze on hit would be pretty nice. Dexterity, vitality, all res again here. All res is being one of the nice attributes on the boots and pants. Usually you want all res. Again, multi-shot though, you don't really need it. You can go with armor, movement speed, something like that. Life regen, whatever, anything works. Like I said, Rain of Vengeance is doing most of the damage, so stacking multi-shot damage doesn't really do that much, but I'm sure it helps a little bit. We don't have one of the new bows yet. Well, I do have a new bow, but it's not ancient, first of all. It doesn't have cooldown. We could have gotten cooldown on it, but the damage roll was literally like 3 higher than the lowest, so it was like the worst damage roll it could possibly be. And this is the only one that I've really found that could have been used possibly. And I did test this one, as you can see, I gifted it, and did do some testing, and I found that running the ancient one that rolled really well versus rolling the non-ancient one with the Rain of Vengeance damage on it. That didn't roll well. The ancient one came out on top but not by much at all. So if you have just a regular one, it'll work just fine. It'll work just like having a legacy Nat Slayer that is ancient, really good. Alright, so the quiver, we're using the chakram quiver. The reason we're using the chakram quiver is to trigger these rings. If that doesn't make sense to you, I'll further explain. Using the rings, when you hit with a generating attack, it procs a ring, giving you 50% damage buff. So we're turning chakram into a generator to proc the first bonus of the ring. Alright, and then we're using multi-shot as our spender to proc the second bonus of the rings. so giving us 100% damage buff, which is really nice, man. These rings are irreplaceable. You can try other stuff, but you're not going to get the same results without these rings. Very good rings. Recommend probably for any DPS class in the game now. These are going to be the go-to rings. One of the biggest damage dealers on the build is the belt. Every time you cast a Rain of Vengeance, you get another crashing beast. It's like another Rain of Vengeance basically, except it's just one quick blast, and does 3,829% weapon damage. It's huge. Does tons. The thing hits so hard. Usually you'll see this thing hit with the current gear and dexterity and everything that I have right now. It hits somewhere between 1 billion and 9 billion, which is a huge range. But every now and then you see it hit for 9 billion, and you're like, oh my god. Most of the time it hits for like 3 billion every time. But then every now and then again you get that 7, 8, and then as high as 9 billion hit. You're like, oh my god, there's a reason to use this spell. It's very good. That's with like everything working together, the strong arms proccing, the rings proccing, everything. We do have a random Og Guilds piece here, just because it has all the right stats we're looking for. So, I mean, any shoulders would be fine here. The Pauldron to the Skeleton King or something like that, the Act 1 cash reward you get, where it gives you like a free cheat death, random cheat death. You have a chance to actually cheat death, but it's not guaranteed. Those would probably work fine. Phantom Knives shoulders would probably work fine. And Profane Pauldrons would probably work pretty good too with pickup radius, because you can get like up to 6 yards on pickup radius in the secondary. Gloves, we got some ancient gloves. We weren't using these on the run, we were using these, but these are just much better. They're pretty close to about the same, really. Big DPS loss using these, obviously. But really what you're after is the cooldown, crit chance, crit damage. As long as you have those 3 stats, you're good. You want to stack a bunch of cooldown on this build. The reason being is you're getting more cooldown from the gear every time you cast, every time you shoot or hit something with a generator or a spender, which we're using both. Chakrams, a generator, and a spender is multi-shot. So we're getting this cooldown by 2 seconds, Rain of Vengeance cooldown by 2 seconds every time. On top of that, we have 44% cooldown, plus Gogok stacks. And now that's another reason we use Chakram, because it hits so many targets. Chakram and multi-shot both hit so many targets that it stacks up your Gogok pretty much instantly. You shoot a couple of Chakrams and maybe a multi-shot, and boom, you're at 15 stacks instantly. That's when you want to try to fire your Rain of Vengeance and get your crashing, get your 3, 4, 5, maybe up to 9 billion crit with this, and all the added damage you're getting also from Rain of Vengeance. We're using a Hellfire neck here with awareness, pretty standard rolls. Obviously, if we had fire damage instead of dexterity, it would be a lot better, especially 20%. You don't really need 5 passives on this build, so you can go without it, and you can run like a neck like this, where you have all 3 of the stats you're looking for. Okay, so let's I think that's all the gear. Oh yeah, the gems. Yeah, we're absolutely using Gogok. Like I said, I explained why. Getting the extra cooldown and the attack speed that helps a lot with generating, since you're only generating 4 hatred per attack. Getting the extra attack speed is going to help you maintain hatred, so you can fire off more multi-shots and keep your rings buffed up. Plus the multi-shots are doing knockbacks as well. Same with the Rain of Vengeance, the Stampede rune. And I'll go over that when I go over the skills, but Suppression Fire and Stampede both are knockback skills, which trigger our strong arms. And it also, you'll see, I'll see, and I'm going to highlight the 51 push. I'll put that in the description so you guys can check it out. You'll see how I keep things away from you, which is really nice. Instead of having to move around too much, you can kind of stand there, and then if anything gets close to you, you just multi-shot it away. And it gets knocked back, and then it gets triggers your strong arms on that mob, and then you drop a Rain of Vengeance on it, and it just explodes. The other gem we're using is Bane of the Trapped, a really high level gem though. I know not everybody's going to have these high level gems, but it's fine as long as you're up into like the 40s, preferably like 50. You really want to be at like 50, I would say, is a comfortable spot for your gem levels. And as long as you're up there, you should be fine with it. And then Zays, again, all the knocking back we're doing is keeping stuff away from you. So Zaze gets a lot of value out of this build, and you just want to keep your distance. As a demon hunter, you're pretty much always want to try to keep your distance from things. So Zaze just gains value from distance, so it's nice. And it's one of the best scaling gems in the game, in my opinion. Every level you put into it adds a ton of damage. You know, this one's only level 61, and it's giving us 32 or 35.25% damage, and this one's 63 and only giving us 33.9 damage. So you can see how well this one scales compared to this one. But obviously you have to have the distance, and plus you're getting the chance to stun, which can also proc your Bane of the Trap. Like these gems just have decent synergy. Not amazing synergy, but pretty good synergy. Alright, so I think that's all the gear that I need to explain. So let's go over the skills. Again, Chakram as our generator because of the quiver, and stacking Gogok really quick is really nice. Plus there's just really not many other options for quiver. I mean, there is other stuff you can do. If you just have a quiver that has really nice stats, you can use it. Like if your old rucksack has like beautiful stats for you, especially you want Rain of Vengeance damage in the second, and that I didn't explain that. Rain of Vengeance damage is huge, guys. Huge. Rain of Vengeance damage and cooldown. Like this has all the perfect stats on it, really. But you don't have to use Chakram. You can use just any quiver, and then instead of using Chakram, you use a generator like anything in your primary area, which will be like evasive fire. Any of these five skills you can use instead of Chakram if you don't have a good Chakram quiver, and it'll be just fine. I recommend evasive fire, the cold rune, because it generates 7, and it hits an AOE. Should help you stack your Gogok a little faster as well. Alright, so there's that. Stampede on Rain of Vengeance, the knockbacks again, and very high weapon damage, so very good. Plus this is getting buffed. The first drop of Stampede knocks everything back. All of them, there's like three drops, and they all knock things back. But being key, the first one knocks everything back, so the 4600% weapon damage gets buffed by your strong arms for all the attacks. Really nice. Plus if you fire off a multi-shot, which I like to try to shoot off a multi-shot right before I drop Rain of Vengeance to get the rings online, to get focus and restraint online, before I drop my main damage dealer, you'll get a knockback there as well. I didn't use this in the video you guys are going to watch if you haven't seen the 51 push yet. But I've been doing testing with it. I didn't use this Cold a Week either. The Cold a Week and the Polar Station are new to the build, but they are, I believe they are better. What we did use, and which you're going to see, is me using Mark for Death, Contagion. So the build really looked like this, with Thrill to Hunt here. This is what the build looked like, in the video, but it's good, don't get me wrong. Like, you can run it like this, and it'll probably work for you, but you're probably going to get better results by using Cold a Week here. And, shit. What did I have here? Oh yeah, Sentry, excuse me. Alright, so Sentry, Polar Station here, keeping everything off you, slowing you, really good synergy with, this, Sentry has really good synergy with Cold of the Week, and your Bane of the Trap, so it's easier to keep this online, keep things away from you, like all the synergy between all four of these, you know, the 2 gems, and the 2 skills, it's too high to pass up, so I would use all those, honestly. Pretty sure it's better. Lingering Fog, Smokescreen, I think is probably the best skill to use, your best defensive skill to use in a Greater Rift solo scenario. Vault is nice, but when a ghost locks onto you or something, you have to run so far, like vault so far away, it slows your times down. So just being able to Smokescreen it off and stay in the fight is much better. Same with like an arrow flying at you, instead of vaulting, and sometimes you'll vault into something stupid, like vault into a freaking poison pool or to an orbiter or something. Just Lingering Fog, like you see an arrow flying at you, you can just Lingering Fog it and kind of take a little step to the side, or just take it, you know what I mean? Just Lingering Fog and take it and keep on firing. Again, multi-shot suppression fire. I know it's a physical rune, and we're doing more of a fire build here, but the knockback is too strong, keeping things away from you. You could obviously go arsenal and get more damage out of it with the rockets and everything, and possibly even implement ballistics into the build. Probably not worth it, honestly, but could be. I think suppression fire is probably one of your best options here, especially if you're going to use strong arm bracers. Wolf Companion for the 30% buff, stacking a lot of cooldown as you saw. I think we end up like somewhere around 53, 54, somewhere in that area once Gogok is fully stacked. So having this up basically about 50% of the time is really nice. And you can set this up on auto cast with your number lock, number keypad. And have this just constantly casting when it's off cooldown, is why I have it on the 4 spot here, so I can set up on numlock. And Coal of the Week, obviously I already explained why Coal of the Week, really good synergy with the build. You want to kill Guardians as fast as possible. Almost, I would say over half of the Guardians in the game do not have ads, or have ads that die extremely fast, and single out becomes extremely valuable. 25% crit chance is pretty damn valuable against the Guardian, because you'll just blow through them really quick. If you guys watch my channel, you'll see me pushing solos with this. You see even when I fail greater rifts, I kill Guardians very, very quickly. Let's see, steady aim speaks. Do I need to explain too much about this? It's 20% damage buff. It's really good, really, really strong. And again, with the knockbacks, you're keeping things away from you, so you're keeping this procced all the time. Ambush is the passive. I think if you don't have a Hellfire neck, this is the passive you lose. I think you drop this passive and just run awareness. If you do have a Hellfire neck, you can run this. If your crit chance is low, I would not run this. I would run archery instead, and get the 5% crit chance since you're using a hand crossbow. I think that should do it, guys. I hope this little tutorial through the skills and gear that I have here helps you guys out, and there's going to be a ton of options, I believe, for the Nats gear. Like, we're just barely breaking the surface of this gear. There's so many elements that you can go with Rain of Vengeance. So many of these are viable. Cold ones, like the one that comes to mind, 3,800% weapon damage and freezing things. I mean, it's a pretty, with being able to cool Rain of Vengeance down so fast, and dropping and freezing things on the screen. Like, you should be able to freeze the screen almost like all the time. Like, anything that's on your screen can be frozen, especially with something that's grouping it, like a Crusader grouping stuff, and a Witch Doctor fearing it if you need it or whatever, and you just drop your Flying Strike on it and freeze it. Shoot it a few times. Rain of Vengeance is back up. Let me freeze it again. Like, that seems really good. In multiplayer situations like this, when you just need raw damage, this seems really good. I mean, there's just all the options seem really, really nice for Rain of Vengeance. So, guys, just test stuff out, man. Explore. Don't just do what I'm doing. Try some new shit. Break the meta, guys. Break the meta. You can do it. Rain of Vengeance is good, man. I think this gear has a bunch of potential. Everybody's running the unhollowed set right now, and I did test the unhollowed set stuff too, but I didn't do a lot of testing with it, because everybody was running it, and I wanted to be testing this stuff, the Nats gear instead. And I think it's good, man. I think it's a lot better than people are making it out to be. So definitely save your gear and give it a shot, guys. And remember, stack the cooldown so you can keep that Rain of Vengeance up, baby. Thanks, guys. Again, the Greater Rift 51 push will be in the description. Please check it out and tell me what you think. And also check out my channel, Ousted0806, and that's at twitch.tv. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it, and see you on the flip side. Hey,